Learning English is not only about memorizing vocabulary or studying grammar rules. Many people spend years learning English in school, yet they still feel nervous when they need to speak. They understand movies, read books, and even pass exams. But when someone asks them a simple question in English, they freeze. Why does this happen? Because English is a skill, not just knowledge. And, like every skill in life, speaking improves only when you practice it regularly. That is why talking in English every day is one of the most powerful habits you can build if you truly want to become fluent. Many learners think they need perfect grammar before they speak. Others believe they need a native speaking environment. Some wait until they feel ready. But the truth is simple. You become ready by speaking. The more you speak, the better you become. The less you speak, the more afraid you become. Imagine someone who wants to learn how to swim. They can read books about swimming, watch videos about swimming, and listen to experts explain swimming techniques. But if they never enter the water, they will never become a swimmer. English works the same way. You cannot become fluent by only studying. You must use the language. You must train your mouth, your ears, your brain, and your confidence together. And the best way to do that is by speaking English every single day. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. You may forget words. You may make mistakes. You may pronounce things incorrectly. But that is completely normal. Children make thousands of mistakes when learning their first language. Nobody laughs at them because mistakes are part of learning. English learners should think the same way. Every mistake is proof that you are trying, improving, and growing. In fact, people who become fluent are usually not the people with perfect grammar from the beginning. They are the people who practice consistently without being afraid of mistakes. Consistency is more important than perfection. Speaking English every day helps your brain become familiar with the language. When you use English daily, your brain slowly starts thinking in English naturally. Instead of translating from your native language word by word, you begin understanding ideas directly in English. This is a major step toward fluency. At the beginning, forming sentences may feel slow and difficult. You may need several seconds just to answer a simple question like, "How was your day?" But after enough daily practice, your responses become automatic. That is because repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity creates confidence. Think about your favorite song. The first time you heard it, maybe you did not remember the lyrics, but after hearing it many times, you could sing along easily without thinking. Speaking English works the same way. The more often you use common phrases and sentence patterns, the more natural they become. Another important reason to speak English every day is pronunciation improvement. Pronunciation is not something you master by reading silently. Your mouth muscles need practice. Some English sounds may not exist in your native language, so your tongue and lips need time to adapt. Daily speaking trains your pronunciation little by little. Even just 15 or 20 minutes a day can make a huge difference over time. Many learners feel embarrassed about their accent, but having an accent is not a problem. Almost everyone in the world has an accent. The real goal is communication, not perfection. If people can understand you clearly, your English is already successful. And the best way to improve clarity is constant speaking practice. Talking every day also helps improve listening skills. This may sound surprising, But speaking and listening are deeply connected. When you practice speaking, you become more familiar with English sounds, rhythm, and sentence structure. As a result, understanding native speakers becomes easier. Your ears improve together with your mouth. That is why active learners often improve faster than passive learners. Passive learners spend most of their time watching videos, reading subtitles, or studying grammar charts. Active learners actually use the language. They answer questions aloud. They repeat phrases. They talk to themselves. They join conversations. They practice even when they feel shy. And because they actively use English, they improve much faster. Confidence is another important reason why daily speaking matters. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles in language learning. Many learners are terrified of making mistakes. They worry people will judge them. They compare themselves to fluent speakers and feel discouraged. But confidence does not appear magically. Confidence is built through action. Every conversation you survive makes you stronger. Every sentence you speak teaches your brain that English is not dangerous. Little by little, fear disappears. This is why daily speaking is so important. If you avoid speaking for long periods, anxiety grows stronger. But when speaking becomes part of your daily routine, your brain starts seeing it as normal. Eventually, English becomes less of a school subject and more of a real communication tool. That is the moment real progress begins. Another powerful benefit of speaking English every day is vocabulary retention. Many people memorize hundreds of words but forget them quickly. Why? Because they never use them. Your brain remembers information better when it is connected to action and emotion. When you use a new word in conversation, your brain gives it meaning and context. That word becomes part of your active vocabulary instead of passive vocabulary. For example, maybe you learned the word excited many times before, but when you say, "I'm excited about my future," during a real conversation, the word suddenly feels alive. Using vocabulary creates memory. This is why speaking practice is much more effective than endless memorization. Daily English speaking also improves your fluency speed. Fluency does not mean speaking perfectly. Fluency means expressing ideas smoothly without constantly stopping. And smooth speaking comes from practice. At first, your brain works very hard to build sentences, but with repetition, sentence patterns become automatic. For example, beginners may struggle to say, "I've been thinking about changing my job recently." But after enough daily practice, complex sentences become easier because the brain recognizes familiar structures. This process takes time, but daily speaking accelerates it dramatically. Some learners say they do not have anyone to practice with. But in today's world, there are many ways to practice English daily. You can talk to yourself. You can describe your day aloud. You can shadow podcasts or YouTube videos. You can join online language communities. You can record your voice. You can speak in front of a mirror. You can even think in English while walking or cooking. The important thing is not perfection. The important thing is consistency. Even 5 or 10 minutes of real speaking every day is better than studying grammar for 3 hours once a month. Small daily habits create huge long-term results. Another reason daily speaking matters is because English is connected to opportunities. English opens doors around the world. It can help you get better jobs, meet international friends, travel confidently, access global knowledge, and enjoy entertainment more deeply. But opportunities appear only when you can communicate. Many people understand English internally but cannot express themselves externally. They know the language inside their head, but they cannot use it in real life. Speaking practice transforms knowledge into ability, and ability changes lives. Imagine traveling to another country and confidently ordering food, asking for directions, or having conversations with locals. Imagine attending international meetings without fear. Imagine watching interviews without subtitles and understanding naturally. These goals become possible when speaking becomes part of your daily life. Another important truth is this: fluency is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built quietly, day after day. Sometimes progress feels invisible. You may think you are not improving, but then one day you suddenly realize you understood an entire video without subtitles, or you answered someone quickly without translating in your head. These moments are proof that your brain has been growing silently through consistent practice. Language learning is like planting a tree. You water it daily, even before you see results. And eventually growth becomes visible. Patience is essential. Many learners quit too early because they expect fast results. But language learning is a long journey. Some days feel motivating, while others feel frustrating. That is normal. The key is continuing anyway. People who become fluent are usually not the smartest learners. They are the most persistent learners. They keep speaking even when they feel awkward. They keep practicing even when progress feels slow. They keep trying even after mistakes. And eventually, their efforts transform into fluency. One important thing to remember is that speaking English every day does not mean you must speak perfectly every day. Some days your English will feel smooth. Other days your mind may go blank. That happens to everyone, even native speakers sometimes. What matters is showing up consistently. Think of speaking English like exercising at the gym. One workout does not create muscles, but repeated workouts over months create strength. Similarly, one English conversation will not create fluency, but daily conversations slowly build communication strength, and over time, the difference becomes enormous. Another beautiful thing about speaking English daily is that it changes your identity. At first, you may see yourself as someone learning English, but eventually, you begin seeing yourself as someone who speaks English. This mental shift is powerful, because once English becomes part of your identity, practicing no longer feels like homework. It becomes part of who you are. You start enjoying conversations. You become curious instead of afraid. You focus on communication instead of perfection. And this mindset accelerates learning even more. There will always be people who speak better English than you. But comparison is dangerous. Instead of comparing yourself to fluent speakers, compare yourself to your past self. Can you speak more confidently than before? Can you understand more than before? Can you express ideas faster than before? If the answer is yes, then you are improving, and improvement is what truly matters. Remember, every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Every confident English speaker once felt nervous. Every person who speaks naturally today once struggled with basic sentences. Nobody starts fluent. Fluency is earned through daily effort. So, if you truly want to improve your English, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Do not wait until your grammar becomes perfect. Do not wait until your vocabulary becomes huge. Do not wait until fear disappears completely. Start speaking now. Speak badly if necessary. Speak slowly if necessary. Speak imperfectly if necessary. But speak, because every day you speak English, you become a little stronger. Every sentence builds confidence. Every mistake teaches something valuable. Every conversation moves you closer to fluency. The journey may be long, but every small step matters. One day, you will look back and realize that the simple habit of speaking English every day changed your life completely. And that is why you must talk in English every day.